Hi, this video is going to walk you through Chapter 4. So first and foremost, before we do anything for any of these chapters throughout the rest of this course, make sure you log on to the virtual desktop. So follow those steps from the prior video, log on to the virtual desktop, and you will see that there are Mozilla links or a Mozilla shortcut where you can access the internet. So you're going to want to access the internet and access everything through that virtual desktop. So I've already done that. I am on my virtual desktop, and you can tell I'm on my virtual desktop because of this little tab here. And it pops me up to xavier.edu. What we need to do for Chapter 4, which we're working on right now, is we need to get the data set that we are going to work on throughout this chapter and the rest of the chapters in the book. So the easiest way to do this, instead of typing in the web address, is just go to Google. Go to Google, and we are using the book Adventures in Social Science Research, 9th edition. You see it populated for me. So what we're going to do is we're just going to scroll down, and you are going to click on the Sage publication for this, right? So you'll see there's a couple Amazon links, but the one that we're actually looking for is sagepub.com. So you'll click on this right here, and it should populate right to the page that we need, and it does. So you'll see this is Sage's website for this book, and there is a link right here for the companion website. So you click on the companion website, and you will see two very useful links. So you'll see data sets and screencast videos. Before we get in the data sets, I want to discuss about these screencast videos, so I'm going to click here and let them load. At the end of every chapter, there are lab exercises, and they have various numbers of questions and exercises that you can walk through and kind of make sure that you understood and learned the skills in that unit. I am not going to assign those for a grade, but I highly recommend that you do those and make sure that you really know how to work SPSS. So what the screencast videos do is they give you little videos very similar to what I'm doing now. It's somebody with a screenshot on a computer and they're talking you through it. But they give you videos that walk you through step by step of the answers of the lab exercises. So if you choose to do those, which again, I highly recommend that you do, this is a way to kind of check your work and see where maybe you were tripped up. I also recommend that you do this because since you're not getting graded on it and it's a way to check your work, it's a good way to kind of assess whether you're ready or not to take the quiz where you are actually going to be graded on. So these screencast videos are right off that companion website, as you can see right here under the student resources title. So what we're going to do to actually go through the book is we need to click on data sets. So the data set we are going to mainly be using for the book is this demo.save. That stands for demonstration. If you look through your book, you'll see it's broken up into multiple demonstrations throughout the chapters. If you choose to do the lab exercises, you will be using this exer.save data set. So you will go through the same process of what we're about to go through. You will just click on that link instead of the demo save link. So in order to go through the exercises in the book, we need to click this demo.save. Again, why it's so important that you start with the virtual desktop is if you're in the virtual desktop, all you have to do is click that link and this box will open up, and all you have to do is hit OK. If you don't go on the virtual desktop and your computer at home does not have SPSS in it, this will not open and you will not be able to use this data set and actually complete the assignments. So again, make sure you go to the virtual desktop first, then go to this website and click the demo.save. And again, the exercise, the exer.save is what you would use if you were using or if you were going to complete the lab exercises at each of the chapters. So it may take a second for this to load. Looks like we're experiencing technical difficulties. There we go. So again, if it takes a while, that is perfectly fine. Sometimes the virtual desktop gets very overwhelmed, so that is okay. So you will see the data set has now formed. So this is the demo.sab. So you will see on my screen right here, it has demo-2.sab. That's because I have had this opened multiple times before as I've been working on this class. Yours will probably just say demo.sab. It's still the same data set. So what we're going to do is we're going to start working our way through chapter 4. You will see that it's separated into demo 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, and so forth. I am going to jump in right in on page 41 at the bottom where it says finding variable information, values, and labels. Demonstrations 4.1 through 4.5 aren't very useful for you all, particularly because we don't have to open the data set because we can go to that link and it goes ahead and opens it for you. So where we're really going to jump in and what I'm going to probably test you on is the finding the variable information, the values, and labels. So I'm going to walk you through that step by step, following along with the book. So we will start this right now. So if you notice on page 42, they have option 1, the variable dialog box. So what we're trying to do here is I'm in the variable view. So you can see these are all my different variables in this data set. And I want to know what the values of each of these variables are. And there's multiple ways you can do that. So the first way, or option 1, is you will come up here and you will click on the Utilities menu. And then you will scroll down, that's the first one, and you will click Variables. And you will see that once you do that, you will see a variable called ABNE. Okay, this data set is from the General Social Survey. It asks a variety of questions, and the first group of questions that they actually ask about are the general public's view on abortion. So you will see the first variable that we click on is called ABNE, and it actually stands for do you support an abortion if a woman wants it for any reason whatsoever. So you will see that the variable name is right here with ABNE, and the actual long label is right here. You'll see the missing values for this are 0, 8, 9. What that means that if someone in the data set has a 0 for this variable, an 8 for this variable, or a 9 for this variable, it means that it was either not applicable, was 0, which you can see right here. They answered don't know, which was 8, or not applicable, again, for question or for value 9. The other two values, which are really important for us in research, is if they have 1 in that column, it means they answered yes, that they support an abortion if a woman wants it for any reason. Or if you see a 2 in that column, you will see that they answered no. In the book, they move forward and they ask you to look at the variable called marital. So luckily, this is in alphabetical order for you. So you can just scroll down and you can click on marital. And what you will see, even though the variable name is marital, there's still a label called marital status. You will see a missing value is 9, and that corresponds to not applicable. And then you will see that there are 5 other values that somebody could have on this variable. So the first one, if they had a 1 in that column, it could be married. If they have a 2, it means they were widowed. If they have a 3, divorced. 4, separated. And 5, never married. So that is one way to figure out what variables you have, as well as what are the values associated with those variables. Another way to do this, or option 2, is that you could come up here to the View button and click that, and you can click on Value Labels. Now, if you notice, mine will not allow me to do this. And the reason is I am already in what we call the variable view. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to click over to the data view. But real quick before I do that, let me just explain this once again. So since I'm in the variable view, all of these rows, as they go down, these are my individual variables. So Each one of these are a different variable or independent variable, or could even be a dependent variable in the study. All right, here's the label. So before, how we saw the label, if you click on that, you will see, a lot of times you can expand this. You will see the same label that we saw before when we went to that utility/variable tab. The values, if you click here, you will also see those same values. So you will see 1 not applicable, 2 or 1 yes, or 0 not applicable, 1 yes, 2 no, 8 don't know, and 9 also not applicable. You will also see that they have coded 0, 8, 9, those don't know and not applicable categories, as missing variables. So that is one more way to do that. So if I want to do the other way though, the option 2, where I want to toggle between the numeric and the value labels, I have to first come over to this data view. And let me explain this real quick. So on the data view, each one of these numbers here, that's a different respondent. So this would be if one of you answered the survey, and these would be all your answers for this survey for all the different questions. And then one of your classmates answered the same survey, this would be all their responses for the same questions that you answered, and so forth and so forth. And across the top here are the different variables. Okay, so another way to find the variable values and the variables, the values, and the labels associated with them is to come up here and click View and go down here to Value Labels. And what you will see is instead of having numeric values, they have changed, and now you actually have the value label in the box instead of the number. So, for example, back to if you support a woman having an abortion for any reason, you will see now instead of the saying 1, this says yes, because 1 equaled yes before. If we scroll down to marital, you will see that this individual in column 1 has never been married. Okay, so, and that corresponded to a value label of 5. And the way I know that right off the top of my head is you will see that it bounced up here to 5. So again, if I did take this off, if you watch, I'll come in here and I'll take off the value labels, you will see that that never married turned to 5. But if I want to put the value labels back on, that 5 is now going to switch to never married. Another way to do this, instead of going to the view, is you come over here and you'll see this 1 with the arrow to an A. It's a toggle switch, and so very quickly can you do this. Can you switch between the numeric value and the actual word value? So if you click that, you'll see it goes back to the 5 for never married, for marital, for respondent 1. If you click this, you will see it's never married once again. Pretty easy. I usually keep it like this with the numbers. It looks a lot less cluttered. When you run your statistics, you're usually working with the numbers, but this is personal preference. So if you prefer to see the actual value labels, you can go ahead and toggle it on, but I'm going to work with it toggled off right now. And then real quick, even though we kind of talked about this before, here's the variable view. Again, the variable view shows all the variables, so it'll start with number 1. And in this data set, if we scroll down, we will see in the data set that there are 43 unique variables. And again, like I said before, if we go up to marital, just to keep it consistent, you can see this will give you what the name of the variable is. It'll give you the label of the variable. If you click right here on that little box, I don't know if you guys saw that. Let me try that again. See this little box right here? If you click right there, it'll bring up the value labels. And then again, you can see 1 married, 2 widowed, 3 divorced, 4 separated, 5 never married, 9 not applicable. You will see that they have taken that non-applicable and made it a missing value. And so you can do that through a discrete missing value. And you can click OK. So that is it for Chapter 4. Again, I highly recommend that you go through the lab exercise. Again, you can go back and you can look at those screencast videos from the website, from the book, and it'll walk you through that before you actually take the quiz. For the quiz, I'm going to use a different data set, one that is not online, one that you're going to have to download from Canvas, but it'll be very, very similar to this. So it's going to be testing you on the same techniques. So you're going to have to tell me value labels and other things that we're going to learn in the next 3 chapters. Again, if you have any questions, please shoot me an email, give me a phone call, and I hope you have a good day. Thank you.